Greetings. King Kalen is not in his tent right now?
Do you know where the king is?
I believe he's with the Grey Wardens in camp, drinking. He holds them in high regard, you know, as his father did.
Tell me about the king. You must see him a lot.
I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Teyrn Loghain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off. The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible?
We'll see in the coming battle.
That's how the Teyrn feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny that Teyrn called him reckless, and they fought about the queen.
The queen?
She's the Teyrn's daughter. He wasn't happy about something she did or the king did, I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't discuss it.
I should go.
As you wish. You approach the tent of Teyrn Loghain. State your business.
Tell me about Teyrn Loghain.
How can you not know of Loghain? He helped free Ferelden. He was the brains behind King Maric's armies and drove out those damned Orlesians. King Maric rewarded him by making him a Teyrn. Can you imagine? A commoner became a high nobleman just like that. Without Loghain, you can bet the king wouldn't be winning against these Darkspawn.
Is the Teyrn inside? What is he doing?
He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities.
Surely you can tell me a little about him?
I suppose, as long as we talk quietly. He and the king have been arguing for days. The Teyrn's known the king since he was swaddled, so they don't stand on ceremony. The Teyrn speaks his mind, and the king yells right back. Personally, I think the king should do what Teyrn Loghain tells him. Without the Teyrn, we wouldn't be doing as well here as we are.
I would like an audience with the Teyrn, please.
I suppose you have a message for him. Hold on, then.
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume.
How did you know that?
His Majesty could not contain his excitement after your meeting. How could I not hear about you? Kalen's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden?
Yes, I've heard that.
Maric respected the Grey Wardens. They have an honored place in the hearts of our people. But Maric would have understood that it takes more than legends to win a battle. That's not an argument I'll repeat here. I hear you're from the Circle of Magi. First Enchanter spoke highly of you. A great achievement, for one so young. I don't suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you?
I don't know.
If Kalen has his way, you will. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sort.
You don't seem very fond of him.
He is Maric's son, and the leader of my beloved Ferelden, and a very young man. I try to keep that in mind, as should you.
King Maric Teyrn.
Look carefully, men. This wretched thing is a Darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart, but don't listen to those old wives' tales. They can be killed. Stick them with your sword enough, and they go down. Their blood is black as sin and poisonous. Don't even touch it. You get tainted with that blood, and you may as well slit your throat. We've lost many dogs already. Had to muzzle them to keep them from biting. It's a long and painful way to die.
Make her watch over you, my lady. Have you heard about the king and Teyrn Loghain arguing?
How do you do?
You never get the stink off, I swear.
We're all going to get sick. That's what happens.
Hail to you. Hail to you.
Perhaps one day we will finally destroy these vile things, and the Maker shall be pleased. As you say.
This is supposed to be the battle that sends these Darkspawn back underground. You believe that?
I don't know what to believe. We've won every battle, but there's more of them each time.
Makes you wonder if them Grey Wardens are right.
I don't want to think about that.
Sounds like the perfect time to get drunk, if you ask me.
The Ten will make short work of those Darkspawn. Just you watch.
Good night for it, Warden.
My faith sustains me. I shall not fear 10,000 men should they set themselves against me.
I shall do it.
My faith sustains me. I shall not fear 10,000 men should they set themselves against me.
The last scouting party made it back last night.
There are lots of Darkspawn, different kinds. We're getting reports of things we've never even heard of. Our short friend here, for instance, is something called a genlock. They're pretty common in the Horde, but we've seen others much larger. We don't know where these new Darkspawn are coming from, or what they can do. All I can say is to use caution. There aren't any we've seen that won't die once they bleed enough.
So there's supposed to be more of these Grey Wardens coming, I hear.
Petron said they were Orlesians, coming with a whole army of them fancy Orlesian knights.
If my pa wasn't already in his grave, that'd put him there.
You think they'll leave once this is done? If we ask them nice?
If they don't, then we keep on fighting, I guess.
I'd rather fight them painted fops than these Darkspawn. That howling of theirs gives me nightmares, it does.
I want this nonsense talk stopped immediately. What are you, a bunch of Natric fishwives spreading gossip until you brown your small clothes out of terror? We've seen nothing to suggest that the Darkspawn drag our people underground to eat them. And I want this talk about Darkspawn enslaving survivors to stop immediately. Keep your minds focused on the battle. You fight for Ferelden and for your king. Remember that.
We stand here in this hour, good folk of Ferelden, and we contemplate the death that may Death is no failure.
This isn't good. I'd hate to waste such a promising member of the breed. Are you the new warden? I could use some help.
What's the problem?
This is a Mabari. Smart breed and strong. His owner died in the last battle, and the poor hound swallowed Darkspawn blood. I have medicine that might help, but I need him muzzled first.
Why do you think I could muzzle him?
You're a Grey Warden, or soon will be. All wardens are immune to the Darkspawn taint. The most you have to worry about is some tooth marks.
But how smart is this dog?
Centuries ago, a mage bred them to be smart and understand what they're told. They can remember and carry out complex orders. Most valuable dogs in the world. Trouble is, they generally imprint to one master. Re-imprinting them is very difficult. But without the medicine, re-imprinting won't be an issue. Will you help?
Would he be imprisoned to me?
We can try, but first we need to muzzle and medicate him.
I'll give it a shot.
Go in the pen and let him smell you. We'll know right away if he'll respond. Let's hope this works. I'd really hate to have to put him down.
The dog looks up to you respectfully. Backing down from his aggressive stance, you can see intelligence in his eyes, as well as a great deal of pain. His enemy is very ill. Put the muzzle on the dog. Mabari growls weakly, but does not challenge you after you are done.
Well done. Now I can treat the dog properly, poor fella. Come to think of it, are you heading into the wilds anytime soon?
I might be. Why?
There's a particular herb I could use to improve the dog's chances. It's a flower that grows in the swamps here, if I remember. If you happen across it, I could use it. It's very distinctive, all white with a blood-red centre.
the dog be alright with us?
If he doesn't get it, chances are he'll need to be put down.
Where in the wilds would I find this flower?
It usually grows in dead wood that collects at the edge of ground pools. Should be plenty this time of year.
I'll see if I can find one.
Good. In the meantime, I'll begin treating our poor friend.
You there, elf. What's your name?
It's Pick, sir.
Go tell Turnlow again that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Wait.
Hello? I'm sorry, is there something you needed?
What do you mean?
I deliver messages around the camp. You have a message for me?
No, I just want to talk.
You want to talk to me? I'm not in trouble, am I?
Not that I know of.
Oh, that's a relief. I'm one of the king's servants, which means I run messages around and make deliveries all day long. If you fall behind, you get the switch from the quartermaster. Oh, I wish I were back at the palace. There are far more places to hide. I better go. If the quartermaster sees me chatting, he'll think I'm being lazy, and that'll be my hide. But it was nice talking to someone.
What do you need? You haven't brought more instructions from the town, I hope.
Do you talk to everyone like that?
If I feel like it. If you're not from the town, what do you want? We're busy.
You don't look like the other soldiers in the army.
We aren't. We're ash warriors.
What is an ash warrior?
Our training has been passed down since Lathias the dwarf son first harnessed the battle rage of the dwarves. It is an old tale.
Can I hear this old tale?
I am no bard, but I will do my best. Lathias was a Clane tribesman. Some said he was too short to be a warrior, but he was strong and fierce. His chieftain sent him to the dwarves of Orzammar to negotiate an alliance, where he fell in love with the king's daughter, Skya, and brought her back to his tribe. She taught Lathias to use the dwarven battle wrath to summon his strength and ignore all pain. Lathias then taught this to the Clane, who made him their chieftain.
What happened to him?
Lathias' prowess earned him the love of Morrigannon, a beautiful chieftain of another tribe. When Skya learned of his seduction, she returned to her people. Lathias was grieved. He sent Morrigannon away, but this only vexed her, and began a long war between their tribes. In the end, Lathias slew Morrigannon in single combat. However, his wounds were great, and he perished when the rage ended. The dwarves came from Orzammar that day, and gave Lathias an honored burial in the mountains. And we live by his teachings even today.
What happened to his wife, Satea?
It is said that before the final battle, she returned to Lathias and gave him a shirt of dwarven chain, along with a final night of passion. Then she was gone forever. If she lived on in Orzammar, only the dwarven folk could say for certain.
So he betrayed his wife and killed his lover.
He was a great man with great passions. Perhaps you'll hear a more inspiring version in a tavern someday.
What does an ash warrior do?
We harness the rage inside us, nurture it, and draw it out so we cannot fall in battle until our last foe is slain. It is a dwarven discipline, but we've adapted it to let us fight alongside our hounds That is our way. I trust my hound with my life, as he trusts me with his.
Why have you painted your dog?
They use scent to distinguish us from our enemies, but the blood of battle can confuse them. So we paint ourselves with caddis, which overpowers the blood, and also paint our hounds so they know we are the same.
What if the enemy is painted with caddis as well?
Why? Would you steal our caddis and give it to the Darkspawn hordes?
I hope you're joking.
If you tried, we would kill you. And that is no joke.
What are you preparing for?
To scout the wilds and watch the progression of the Darkspawn horde. With luck, we'll find and slaughter many stragglers. The hunt will be good if my hound survives the blood of his prey. If he dies, I shall mourn tonight. Darkspawn blood is poisonous, but not always fatal. Those who survive grow immune to its effects. The wardens say that tainted blood drives even the survivors mad eventually. But not today. Today, we hunt and we kill.
I should be going.
My thanks. There is hunting to be done, and I'll not be kept from it.
Welcome to the King's camp, my lady.
Beg your forgiveness. Do not abandon us in a... Watch over the valiant king.
What do we have here? I heard the new Grey Warden recruit was from the Circle. I don't believe we've met, but I've certainly heard a lot about your talent. My name is Wynne, and I congratulate you on your harrowing, marvelous work. The Fade is a dangerous place.
I found it terrifying, to be honest.
I thought the same. It's good you can admit that. So, a Grey Warden, fighting alongside the King. Not too shabby for someone just out of apprenticeship.
I hope I don't disappoint anyone.
Child, you have been taught well. Use what you know, and have faith in yourself. Mages have always been pivotal in the fight against the Darkspawn. Perhaps you'll be the one to turn the tide this time.
Do you know much about Darkspawn?
Some. Do you? Do you know about the connection between them and the Fade, for example?
I don't remember encountering Darkspawn in the Fade.
They do not live there, nor would any sane mage trespass as deeply into that realm as the Black City, which lies at its heart. Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says.
And is that true?
It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now.
At least it's something to ponder.
Yes, occasionally it's wise to contemplate one's actions. But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
Watch over Terran
See you guys
and give him
in the next
wisdom to bring us
video.
victory against the